Think all brain fog and fatigue is the same? Think again. If you've been battling brain fog, unexplained fatigue, or frustrating slips in memory, you're in the right place. While common, these issues are not normal, and today I'm going to go through the 6 types of brain dysfunction that could be the cause, as well as some strategies to start combating each one effectively. And stay with me until the end, because I'll be sharing an exclusive guide on how you can start reversing these dysfunctions using the holistic and transformative approach of the Oakley method. Brain dysfunction might sound like a broad term, and it is, because it covers a range of issues that many of us experience yet might not fully understand. At its core, brain dysfunction is when your brain isn't operating at its full potential, which can affect pretty much every aspect of your daily life. From forgetting names to struggling to concentrate at work to feeling down without a clear reason, it all ties back to how well our brain is functioning. And here's the thing, there's not one clear cut cause, but multiple factors that can lead to these problems. Our brains are really complex organs, and their health can be compromised by a variety of factors. In fact, researchers such as Dr. Dale Bredesen and his team have identified over 36 different contributors to brain dysfunction, ranging from inflammation to hormone imbalances to nutrient deficiencies and beyond. Luckily, we can group these factors into 6 basic categories: inflammatory, glycotoxic, trophic loss, toxic, vascular, and traumatic. This grouping helps us understand and address the specific types of dysfunction, which is crucial because no single treatment strategy works for everyone. Each of us has a unique brain makeup and lifestyle, which means personalized approaches are not just beneficial, they're absolutely necessary for effective healing and optimal brain health. So let's start with the first type of brain dysfunction, which is inflammatory. This is something you may have heard about in different health contexts, but it plays a particularly critical role when it comes to your brain. Inflammation is essentially your body's response to injury or threat, and it's meant to protect us, and it's absolutely vital for your survival. Think of it as your body's fire alarm system. It's essential in emergencies, but problematic if it won't turn off. When this inflammatory response becomes chronic, it can seriously disrupt your brain function. What it does is this ongoing inflammation can lead to a variety of disturbances in your cognition, mood, and even energy production. For many, this shows up as persistent brain fog, memory problems, concentration issues, fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix, and even changes in mood. The real issue here is that this type of inflammation is often silent and goes unchecked for years or even decades, resulting in more severe conditions like Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. It's like having a slow leak in a tire. You might not notice the problem at first, but over time, the effects become kind of impossible to ignore. Chronic inflammation slowly wears down your brain's resilience, affecting its ability to function properly. The good news is that by identifying and addressing inflammation early, we can prevent and even reverse the cognitive decline and improve your overall brain health. This involves understanding what is triggering the immune response, such as inflammatory foods or leaky gut, as well as strategies like adopting an anti inflammatory diet, ensuring adequate physical activity, and managing stress effectively. The goal is to reduce what causes the inflammation while giving your body what it needs to resolve existing inflammation and regulate the inflammatory response. Now, type 2 is known as trophic loss, and it involves the nourishment of your brain. Just like the rest of your body, your brain needs a specific set of nutrients, hormones, and signals, the trophic factors, to support the growth and survival of neurons or nerve cells in your brain, allowing your brain to operate effectively. When these trophic factors are deficient, the result can be pretty dramatic. Hormone imbalances such as thyroid dysfunction or low testosterone or estrogen or even progesterone can significantly affect your cognitive function, leading to symptoms like memory lapses and decreased mental clarity. Similarly, a lack of essential nutrients like B vitamins, omega 3 fatty acids, and various antioxidants can impair your brain's ability to repair itself and form new connections. And an important player in brain health is brain derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. This protein acts almost like fertilizer for your brain, promoting the growth of new neurons and helping existing ones survive. BDNF is vital for memory, learning, and higher thinking, and when you're deficient in key nutrients or experiencing hormonal imbalances, the production of BDNF can plummet, further exacerbating cognitive decline and reducing your brain's resilience against aging. Now, studies have shown that deficiencies in these critical elements are not just linked to a decline in mental function, but can also contribute to long term neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. It's as if your brain is trying to operate without all of its tools. Eventually, the quality of the work that it can perform begins to decline. Makes sense, right? The good news is that trophic loss is absolutely addressable through a well rounded diet rich in vitamins, minerals, and essential fats, alongside appropriate hormonal support as needed. You can replenish these vital nutrients pretty easily. Sometimes supplementation may be necessary, which should be tailored to your body's specific needs. Next is a somewhat lesser known but incredibly impactful type of brain dysfunction that we refer to as glycotoxicity, or type 1.5. This type is essentially a blend of the problems caused by chronic inflammation and trophic loss, and it's directly tied to your dietary choices, specifically sugar consumption. Many of us love sweet treats, but eating too much sugar or high glycemic foods that quickly convert to sugar in our bodies doesn't just add calories. It sets off a cascade of chemical reactions that can harm your brain. When you consume a lot of sugar, your body reacts by releasing a hormone called insulin to help you absorb the sugar into your cells. But here's the twist. If your diet consistently has high sugar levels, your body needs to pump out more insulin. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, which is not only a gateway to diabetes, but also has been linked to cognitive decline and even Alzheimer's, which, by the way, has been nicknamed type 3 diabetes. And excess sugar modifies important proteins in your body through a process called glycation. These glycated proteins become stiff and malformed, becoming unable to do their jobs and triggering inflammation and oxidative stress, or stress at the cellular level, which further damages brain cells. It's a bit like pouring syrup in a machine. Eventually, things are going to gum up and break down. But here's the most important part: you actually have control over this. By managing your sugar intake and choosing whole, unprocessed foods, you can significantly reduce your risk of glycotoxicity. Transitioning to a balanced diet with plenty of fiber, healthy fats, and proteins can stabilize your blood sugar levels and help protect your brain. Type 3 is a critical yet often overlooked aspect of brain dysfunction: toxic exposures. Every day, whether you know it or not, you come into contact with a variety of toxins that can have profound effects on your brain health. These toxins aren't just in areas you typically associate with pollution, like industrial sites or smokestacks. They're in your home, your office, and even the food you eat. From the pesticides on your produce to the chemicals in your cleaning products, the heavy metals in certain fish, and the air pollution in your cities, toxins are everywhere. Now, usually we don't see cases of a major exposure to one toxin. More commonly, it's the accumulation of a small amount of many toxins that overwhelm your body and start to cause issues. For example, heavy metals like lead or mercury can accumulate in your brain over time, leading to cognitive decline. And organic pollutants, which you might be exposed to through something as simple as burning candles or using nonstick cookware, can also accumulate and affect your brain health. And the impact of these toxins on the brain can be pretty severe. They can disrupt the delicate balance of your neurotransmitters, which are your brain chemicals and messengers, impair nerve connections, and even lead to long-term damage in brain structure and function. And this can show up as everything from increased brain fog and fatigue to more serious conditions like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. But it's not all doom and gloom. By being aware of these risks and actively working to minimize your exposure, you can protect your brain. This might mean choosing organic foods when possible, prioritizing the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen, improving air quality in your home with air purifiers, or being mindful of the products you use and their ingredients. Start by evaluating your environment. What chemicals are you exposed to daily? Can you reduce or eliminate them? Small changes can make a big difference. Type 4 is vascular, which involves the health of your blood vessels. Your brain relies on an intricate network of blood vessels to supply its oxygen and essential nutrients, without which your brain function can suffer significantly. Think of your brain's vasculature like the intricate network of water pipes in a large city. If the pipes are clean and clear, water flows freely, reaching every home and building efficiently. But if the pipes get clogged or start to degrade, it doesn't matter how good the water source is, some areas might not get water at all. When your blood vessels are compromised, whether by plaque buildup, inflammation, or damage from high blood pressure, it can lead to a reduction in the blood flow to your brain. This can cause vascular cognitive impairment, which is a fancy way of saying your cognitive abilities decline because your brain isn't getting the blood flow it needs. Conditions like atherosclerosis, where plaque builds up in the arteries, or high blood pressure, which stresses the walls of your blood vessels, are particularly harmful to your brain health. They not only can impair cognitive function, but also increase your risk of stroke, which can have devastating and immediate effects on your brain. Fortunately, there are effective ways to maintain and even improve the health of your blood vessels. Regular physical activity, a diet high in fruits and vegetables and low in inflammatory fats like canola oil, vegetable oil, and margarine, and managing stress levels can all contribute to healthier blood vessels. Not only do these actions help your heart, but they also ensure your brain is nourished and protected. It's a win win. Moving on to the last type of brain dysfunction, type 5, we are addressing trauma. This is a type of brain dysfunction that stems directly from physical injury to the head. Whether it's from a sports injury, a fall, or a car accident, the effects on the brain can be significant and long lasting. As a side note, psychological trauma can also impact brain health, but we will focus on physical trauma today. When your brain experiences a physical impact, it doesn't just suffer from the immediate bruising or potential bleeding. The brain responds to injury by producing amyloid proteins, which we are also learning are produced in response to everything else we've talked about earlier as well. While these proteins are part of the brain's defense mechanism meant to protect and repair following trauma or other threat, they can also have unintended consequences. Amyloid proteins are sticky and can accumulate in the brain. Under normal circumstances, they're cleared away once the job is done. However, with repeated injuries, or in some cases even after a single severe trauma, these proteins can build up and form plaques. This can also occur if the other causes of brain dysfunction we've discussed are not addressed and continue to threaten your brain. These amyloid plaques can disrupt communication between brain cells and interfere with brain functions, leading to cognitive decline and an increased risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases. In fact, amyloid plaques are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. The good news is that there are steps you can take to minimize the risk of trauma and support your brain's health if an injury does occur. Wearing appropriate protective gear during sports, ensuring a safe environment at home and work, and seeking immediate medical attention after any head injury are essential preventative measures. You'll also want to follow medical advice for recovery after a head injury, which can include adequate rest and avoiding activities that risk further injury, as well as utilizing omega-3 fatty acids therapeutically under medical supervision. These strategies are crucial for allowing your brain to heal properly and prevent long-term damage. So far today, we've explored the various types of brain dysfunction, all the way from inflammatory to traumatic. And now you might be wondering, how do I find out which one I might be dealing with? And this is where the functional medicine mantra of test, not guess comes into play. In functional medicine, we aim to focus on identifying the root causes of health issues through comprehensive testing as a gold standard, rather than making assumptions based on symptoms alone, although this can be a very powerful place to start and is often used when necessary. This approach allows us to tailor treatments that address your specific needs rather than using a one-size-fits-all solution. There are several tests that can help pinpoint the type of brain dysfunction you may be experiencing. For example, blood tests can reveal markers of inflammation, hormonal imbalances, food sensitivities, nutritional deficiencies, and much more. Urine tests can help detect toxins, for example, that are hanging out in your body. Stool tests can evaluate the condition of your gut, and genetic testing might be used to uncover predispositions to certain types of brain dysfunction, such as those related to toxins or vascular issues. Utilizing these and other tests, we can develop a precisely personalized roadmap for your brain transformation. Remember, the journey to a better brain health is a very personal one. And by understanding your unique situation, you can start making targeted changes that have a real impact on your daily life and long-term well-being. To learn more about how this works, see the link in the description below. Even if you haven't completed any testing, there are steps you can start taking today to enhance your brain function. Simple changes in what you eat, how you move your body, and how long you sleep can start making a difference right away. I've tied all these and more into the Oakley method, the method I use with my clients that's designed to address the underlying causes and restore your brain to optimal functioning. To learn more about the Oakley method, use the link in the description box below. But to make getting started with simple changes even easier for you, I'd like to gift you my guide on the top 3 things you can start doing now to beat the brain fog and fatigue absolutely free. You can grab it in the description below. Now, remember, before making any significant changes to your health routines, especially those involving medications or existing medical conditions, it's really important to consult with your healthcare professionals first. This ensures that any adjustments are safe and tailored to your specific health needs. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos. I have so much more to share on improving brain health and preventing and managing cognitive decline, and I'd love for you to join this community. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.